round 2 of Season 3 of the Switchback Racing League. We're here at the Chinese National Circuit, Shanghai. It's plenty of history this track has, hosted the 1000th Grand Prix, but let's go through some of our tidbits here. Michael Schumacher holds the lap record of a 1 minute 32.328. Set in 2004, the first time this track held a Grand Prix race. In total, this track costed around about 360 million euros to build in 2004. Designed by great Hermann Tilke. Not too great in recent times, though, must be said. In total, this track was actually inspired and designed after a Chinese symbol, the Shang symbol, which in Chinese means to ascend or to be above. We would have wished that this thing's design would have ascended above its expectations, but it didn't. Or at least in recent times it hasn't. Just think back to the 1000th Grand Prix Formula 1 of this track. Not very exciting. That wasn't. Speaking of, I have a partner today. I have a co-commentator alongside me, even though I'm a backup member, filling in for Sebastian, who could not be here today and tomorrow. So, Mr. Co-commentator, say hello.
Hello viewers, welcome to SBR. Good to be here at the race here today at China. Excited to get this race underway here at the Shanghai International Circuit. And yeah, just super excited to have a great race here today for Tier 2's race in Season 3. Want to say a big thank you to Champ as well for joining me in the commentary booth here today. On SBR. It's going to be an amazing race, isn't it, here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. We're joining in the Q1 session. So these drivers are going to be looking to get out of the bottom 5 to be able to get into the Q2 session, which we will be going into in just a few minutes' time. So, Champ, what's your thoughts on the Grand Prix going ahead? Who do you think is going to be the driver to look out for here today at SBR's Round 2?
I honestly have no idea. It's China, it could be a toss-up. Whatever happens, happens. I don't have a prediction. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, yeah, I gotta agree with you, to be honest. I don't really have a prediction at this moment as well because, I mean, anything can happen, you know? Like you said, it's China. It can be a very difficult track at some points. There could be a lot of action on track, a lot of overtaking, and sometimes a few incidents as well that can cause some safety cars, and also weather can impact the race as well. Strategies is a big point as well, with the softs not running very good for rounds here, but we'll witness that in a little bit's time. What I do want to mention, there is a glitch going on with the session itself, and it looks like everyone's leaving the session. We may need to restart this Grand Prix because everyone's not going out of the pit lane. There might be a glitch going on here. You have any thoughts on what's going on right now?
Yeah, I've just had a few reports come in on Twitch chat that, yes, indeed, the lobby has indeed glitched. People are not being let out of the pit lane for whatever reason in the past 4 minutes we've been sat here. And so chances are we're going to need to start a new one. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, you're right. Technical difficulties. So drivers are going to have to leave the session. We will leave the session, and then we'll start the race in just a few moments' time. So viewers, give us a few minutes as the admins will be trying to start the session itself, start the new lobby, because it looks like everyone is leaving the session. And then we'll get new invites back to the new session, and then we'll get this qualifying and race as well underway as well. So anyway, I guess this is a good point to talk about this track that we're at. Now, Champ, you did an absolutely amazing job explaining exactly everything about this track itself. So I want to say thank you so much, as there is an error with the session, so we are going to join that new lobby now.
Yes, indeed.
So I want to ask you the question, since you just did a brilliant job, of course, letting us know of the new of the Chinese Grand Prix itself. What would you say is your opinion on this track? Do you think it's going to be some good racing? And what's your thoughts on the Shanghai International Circuit itself?
To be honest, it's kind of a toss-up as to whether or not it's going to be a good race or not. As for whether or not I like the track, absolutely not. I hate this thing with every single bit of my soul. I hate it.
Yeah, this track can be quite difficult. You know, I mean, like, it's a difficult track compared to other tracks like maybe Austria or Belgium or Italy, all those type of tracks. But I gotta say, we've had some interesting races back here in the past in real F1 and in the virtual world as well. I've recently been commentating on 4 different Chinese Grand Prix in the last week, and I've seen a lot of action on track, and so this will be the 5th one, and I can't wait to see the drivers go on track, because I think we will get some good racing, even though this track doesn't produce a ton of racing, I would say, compared to others like I mentioned, Red Bull Ring or Monza or anything like that. But it does provide some interesting action on track when it comes to overtaking, especially into turn 14 at that heavy hairpin, or down into the first turn, which I call the spiral section, as it goes all the way around into kind of a spiral shape.
Indeed, it can be very, very tricky. Kind of why I hate it. Especially on the new game. It is massively harder to drive. Especially with the curb model and system, which will basically, it will spit you out if you touch like any bit of the curb the wrong way. Really diligent, really careful how you drive this track, or else it will punish you.
Yeah, it really will. You're right. The track can be quite a difficult one to drive at, especially through the second sector. Those S's, like you said, if you touch one curb, you spin out instantly. It can be a very difficult track to drive.
Viewers, I'm just gonna kind of reset the stream right now to fix this problem. I'll be back in like a second, so just bear with me. I basically have it on a black screen. Like I said, 6 hours notice. I've had like no time to do this. So, sorry viewers, this has been kind of terrible. But technical difficulties, what can you do about it? Again, apologies, viewers. We seem to have more technical difficulties. Turns out people can't even get into the new lobby. I myself am having struggles, and until we get this whole thing fixed and resolved, we're gonna be stuck at this black screen on the stream until we can get this sorted. So, apologies for the inconvenience. We're trying as hard as we can to fix this as soon as we can. Just hang in there. Nothing you can do with a buggy game like this. It must be said, the online this year has been not great, especially when compared to previous years. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, looks like we might be coming back. Everything seems to have been sorted. We're in the new lobby right now, and provided we don't have any more technical glitches, technical difficulties, or anything of the sort, we should be getting underway momentarily.
Yeah, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to the SBR race here today. I think we all are ready to go, if I'm not mistaken. Are you ready to go, champ?
I am ready to go.
Awesome. All right. So, viewers, thank you so much for patiently waiting for the stream to be back. We had a little technical difficulty there with the lobby itself, but we are going to get underway for the full session, Q1, Q2, Q3, and of course the race itself that will be here at the Chinese Grand Prix, the Shanghai International Circuit, for round 2 of SBR Season 3 Championship race. And of course, we're here with Tier 2. So, we are going to get this race underway. We're just waiting for the admins to give the call to ready up. And, yeah, that's pretty much it from us, I guess. Oh, there we go, yep.
30-second call for the start of the session. So, we will be getting underway momentarily. The Chinese Grand Prix round 2. The SBR Formula 1 Championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a great race, isn't it? I think there's so much action that can come from this Grand Prix. I think a lot of drivers are getting ready for a great race to happen here today. And I think we're just waiting to see what these drivers can do on track. Now, in the previous session, before the lobby glitch, we were mentioning a little bit about the Q1, Q2, Q3 format. I guess we can talk about it again if you don't mind, just about that session, because here's the thing. The full qualifying format, if the viewers are not very familiar with the session itself, how the Q1, Q2, session goes. Basically, how this goes is Q1 will be the bottom 5, Q2 will be the next bottom 5, and Q3 will be the fight for pole position for the top 10. Now, in Q2, this is not just about being eliminated in the bottom 5, it's also about the tire strategy. Drivers will be starting on whatever tire they qualify in the second qualifying session, and so watch out for drivers possibly going on the medium compound drivers, and also watch out for drivers maybe top drivers that are usually fighting for pole position, starting to struggle and worry that they might be out of the Q2 session because they are on different compound tires to what other drivers are going on. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the session itself. But yes, we want to say a big welcome back to all the viewers. Thank you so much for your patience. And if you're enjoying the stream so far, smash the like button and subscribe to the channels. So, what can we talk about this race? What's your thoughts, champ, right now?
My thoughts as the first few cars are heading out onto the track in first qualifying session. Bottom 5 eliminated. Is that should be interesting. Qualifying here is generally a tactical one. The middle sector is terrible in terms of dirty air and trying to follow the car, so finding a clean gap to find or to slip into is going to be very important here, especially later on in the session in Q3 when everybody's fighting for pole position. Don't want to get held up because you're behind somebody and have to sit in that dirty air.
Yeah, it's not very good, I want to say, when it comes to dirty air. And you don't want to be stuck behind someone, like you said, especially getting that dirty air. It's not something you want to do.
No, indeed. See, the Ferrari is slow, brings out the flag.
I think that might have been Andri there in the Ferrari, I think, coming through the second sector. We're also, I'm riding on board right now with Jack Spruce in the second Ferrari as Norwich joins the session. The Ferrari's just about to come across the line. I'm going to quickly do an onboard with Jack here. So Jack comes into turn 1, break at the 50 meter mark as we come down into turn 2 and 3. Slowly shift down to second gear here, and then you're going to sweep it all the way around for the long turn 4 this is. Now, round the little straight this goes as we go flat out through turn 5, all the way up to about 107 miles per hour. Now, Jack Spruce comes through turn 6, a little bit too much on the curb to the right there, but it gets a very good exit off to the left, then switches it to the right for the S section, the left and the right. This is the S's here at the Shanghai International Circuit. Shifted down to maybe 5th to 4th gear, depends on your entrance and exit. Through the double left-hander, this is of 9 and 10. This is a very difficult section of the track. You don't want to get too much to the curb to the right. You can spin out very easily. Brake right as the entrance to the curb comes at the 100 meter mark as we come down into 11, 12, and 13. Really long triple right-hander this is right here for turn 13. This is a traction zone as well, so watch out for drivers spinning out at that particular session, especially on this brand new game. Long straight down to turn 14. See drivers going up to about 205 miles per hour down into turn 14. Brake at the 100 meter mark exactly on that point. Hit the curb and hit the apex especially. Don't go too wide. You can get a lot of traction problems off of that turn. Through the last turn now, 16, as we come around the final corner with Jack Spruce to the line for Ferrari. His first lap is going to bring him to first place with a 1:31.541.
Impressive lap time, no doubt, but we'll see. Is it going to be good enough as the Williams goes and absolutely destroys that lap time? And it's 7/10 of a second. That is nothing to slouch at.
Yes, you're very much correct. The Williams driver absolutely flying right there. 7/10 faster, as you did mention.
Off in the final sector on the front straight. Everybody needs to be careful for him. Thankfully, nobody was coming around at that time. His lap has been invalidated. And that car does not look good. Missing a front wing surely has other damage. But it's going to be a big task for his team to fix that thing up, get him out again. He might not make it out.
Yeah, hopefully he can get back into the garage, get his team working on that car, you know, get the front wing change, and get back out and set a decent lap to get out of Q1. But yeah, Tyrant there in the Aston Martin, who did spin, as he did mention at the final turn, does have major wing damage and is going to have to get to the pits very quickly. Pally, who's returning as the AlphaTauri driver, of course, missed out on the previous race in Bahrain. He sits first with a 1:30.5, so he's 3/10 faster than Hughes' time in the Williams cars. So the times are coming in here. Pally absolutely flying on his first attempt of that lap. So good lap by the AlphaTauri driver.
Good lap indeed, but I have to. Surely some of these guys have to be kind of preserving the pace a little bit. It's only Q1, bottom 5 get eliminated. You only need to be in the top 12 to advance to the next session. I don't think that there's any reason to necessarily push like to the absolute limit. So I'd bet that some people are probably just kind of keeping the pace in the bag a bit, holding it until Q3 comes around when it actually matters. That's when the actual grid gets decided. Right now, if you're a front runner, you know you have the pace. Now it's just you make it through. So I don't see any big reason to push if I'm a front runner. That's my take.
I absolutely agree with you. I think all these drivers are probably just conserving their laps here. They're not pushing too hard, as you did mention, and they're waiting for Q3, exactly what you did say. And there's not really a point to push right now. Right now, for all the top runners, is really just practice. This is because they want to feel how the car's going, and of course make it out of Q1. This is mainly for drivers that are struggling to get out of Q1. The Q1 session is not too much action. This is more of a run where drivers kind of have to just conserve their laps and kind of get some practice in. And then Q2 is where it does matter when it comes to strategy. And then, of course, Q3 is where it's the flying laps. Those are where we're going to see the drivers going the fastest during the entire stream itself. Before we get into moving on, I just quickly want to say the Chinese Grand Prix, this track, if you're interested in the details, Champ did an amazing job in the previous stream that we did have to explain some details. I'll quickly just go through a few details about this track if you're interested. Turns, there's 16. Circuit length is 5.4 kilometers and 3.3 miles. And there's 2 DRS zones, 1 on the pit straight and 1 down the back straight. That's just a few details. We can go in a little bit more about history and how we think about this track, all that sort of thing, when we get the chance to.
No doubt. Just had an order coming from one of the execs to put the track map on, so there you go, track map is on. Also, I realize my mic is a bit quiet. There, I apologize if it's been a bit quiet and if you couldn't hear me on the stream. I'll work on fixing that.
Yeah, you may need to adjust your microphone settings in the PlayStation itself. May need to raise it up just a tiny bit. That could be it. So anyway, looks like Pally still has that lap. He's going to go out for another lap. Surprising, actually. Maybe he's looking to get some practice in. And here's the thing, viewers. He's on another fresh set of softs, I do believe. Unless these are the same soft they did run, which is alright too. But what I was going to mention, if he is on a brand new set of softs, you're probably wondering, his lap time is safe. He's going into Q2. Why would he need to go on a fresh set of tires? Well, he may be just wanting to improve his lap. And this is actually a good point to talk about a little bit about strategy. We'll talk about more of that during the race and Q2 as well, as that's more of a strategy session. But drivers are most likely going to be going for the mediums to hard strategy here, and not for the soft tires at all during the entire Grand Prix. The reason why is because degradation is very high for around here. This track is a high downforce track as well. So the tires will be degrading quite a bit, I want to say, around this track. I've witnessed quite a bit of problems with the tires. They don't last for very long. They last for a max about 6 laps, to be honest. They don't last for very long, to be honest. So watch out for drivers probably setting a lap on the medium compound tires in Q2 and staying on those tires pretty much till the end of their stint until they switch over to the hard compound tires during their session. Or we could have some rain and we could have a safety car as well. That could mix up the entire order as well. But what I wanted to say was basically drivers are probably going to be going on as many tires as they can in the qualifying session, because there's not really a need to actually use the tires in the race itself. So why not use them right now? They're free anyway. So that's the reason why I mentioned that. So anyway, we move on. We got 6 minutes, around 7 minutes, almost exactly. 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of Q1 session here today. Who do you think is at risk for not making it into Q2 at this particular moment?
Well, you know, it seems like some people haven't actually set a proper competitive lap time yet. So as time winds down, I'd expect lap times to come down, and the people who haven't set a proper competitive lap time yet, a proper go lap, to start doing it. And once that happens, well, I'd expect the order to be shuffling around quite a lot. So I can't really say. I don't have a prediction at this moment in time. As we see a Haas driver, the Chaos Druid, who's bottom of all people to set a lap time, going out. 6 minutes left in the session. He'll try to improve upon that lap time.
Well, yeah, I think the drivers that are in the bottom 5 right now, I think they're going to have a chance to probably go out, as there's another Haas. I think that might be Hack there. We're right on board with the Haas driver now. Those bottom 5, they're going to have about 2 laps of fresh new tires, basically set a lap. This is probably all their... Well, here's the thing. This will probably be all their out laps, then they'll set their lap, and then it'll be around, I would say, 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining of the qualifying session. They'll be able to go back into the pit lane and then come out on a fresh set of tires, then set another lap if they can't improve on this particular lap they're doing. So they got some time. That's basically what I'm saying here. So we'll have to see how this works out between all these drivers on the grid. This is going to be interesting because Michael's here in the McLaren. Now, he's a very quick driver. We saw this at the Bahrain Grand Prix in the previous race. Actually, he was the last race winner at the Bahrain Grand Prix, if I'm not mistaken. So watch out for Michael's here. He has to get out of the bottom section of qualifying. And hopefully he doesn't make a mistake. But don't worry, he's also going to have a lot of time to go out for another lap if he does make a mistake. So it's looking pretty good for Michaels at this particular moment. But we'll see how it goes for him. Inferno as well. We know how quick the Alpine driver can be. He's coming down turn 14. There's Michaels just ahead of him. Hopefully the McLaren driver doesn't get too much in the way. And Inferno doesn't get too much of the dirty air that we were talking about a little bit earlier on. The Alpine driver comes around the final corner now. And let's see where this lap is going to take Inferno to the line. He goes P12, a 132.0. He might be at risk, though. So
Yes.
him and his teammate, El Vega, as well. So what's your thoughts on that?
He's on the bubble, but he did improve by a full second that lap. So, tangible improvement as the McLaren driver in the background there goes off and is out of the session.
No way has that just happened. Michael's out of the session. The race winner from Bahrain last time out is out of the session. He's out of Q1. This has absolutely been the worst commentator's curse I've ever said, because I said he was pretty much good. I really do apologize for that. Nothing I could have done, of course. But oh my goodness, has that just happened? What happened to him? Did he spin off the curb or something?
I would think so. I mean, yeah, it looked like he did from what I could see. He kind of just spun into the wall and is now out of the session. So that's going to make things kind of interesting. See if he can come back. It's a 50% race, 28 laps. There's certainly time for him to come back from this, but it certainly isn't going to help his chances of winning this race for sure.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I think the McLaren driver is going to have a lot of work to do in the session itself, a lot of time to make up. to be honest. So we'll see how that works out. So there goes Chaos Druid. He's going to try and start his lap. He had a little off at the last turn of turn 13 before that straight. Michaels leaves the session. That's super unfortunate. Hopefully he can get back in the session. Hopefully that wasn't glitch. But he is out of the session in this Q1 session. As we did mention, hopefully he comes back in the 50% race, of course, and he'll be able to challenge for the top positions. I'm going to ride on board with the Chaos Druid and see what his lap is going to take him. He's on the risk of being out of Q1. The two Alpine drivers are not going out for another lap unless they pit really fast, but I don't think they're going to have enough time to do that. So I think it's really just Tyrant and the Chaos Druid that were in this. And I think Tyrant is actually on a invalid lap.
Yeah, he came across the line. He did a 35.4, I think it was, but it didn't show up on the timing screen, so it had to have been invalidated. And the mini-map, track map shows red all across, so I would think he's invalidated this lap too. So, I don't know. Doesn't look too bright for him as Paladin left the session. The provisional pole sitter just left the session.
Oh no, that is not good. I wonder if that was I wonder if there's a glitch going on, because the two drivers that were, I think two drivers that were very fast in this league, Michaels and Pally, are both not in the session anymore. I hope that wasn't deliberate, because something happened there.
You certainly wouldn't think it's deliberate with like 1 minute left in the first qualifying session. You wouldn't deliberately leave. So it had to have been like a glitch or maybe a disconnection. Maybe his internet blipped out.
I've just gotten word that it said Pally said that he didn't leave the session. He just retired. So it looks like maybe that was a glitch that the game saw. But he is retired from the session. So he's right now he didn't leave the session. Or maybe it says on our screens that he did. Sometimes the game can be glitchy. We've seen it before in this particular section, or this particular session, in fact. So I don't know. Maybe the glitch is coming back with little graphics coming up saying the drivers are leaving sessions.
Flag is out. Everybody on their fine lap. And Tyrant, the car I was on board with, has just spun. So I think that puts his chances of escaping from the bottom 5 basically done with.
Yeah, I think you're right. Tyrant out of qualifying. I do believe so. And I'm not particular.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, what would you say the qualifying elimination is? Because we've seen drivers like the bottom 5 is out of qualifying, and then we've also seen it where it's also like the bottom 2 or something like that. Do you think it's 13th all the way down, or something else?
Well, like, one would think that it would be the bottom 5, but also at the same time, that would only be like. There would only be 2 people to be eliminated in the next session, because there needs to be 10 for the final shootout in Q3, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Results are about to come up, and we'll just see. Thank you, Asha60, for tipping €5 and for following the channel. We appreciate it very much. Let's see here. I cannot scroll down on the standing screen.
I think you need to hit the advance button, because it's not, it's different from the F1 2020 game.
Yes, okay, so bottom 2 have been eliminated. Tyrant sets a lap time at the death. It was a 1 minute 40, but it doesn't matter. He gets through into Q2.
Yeah, he does get into Q2, so that's good. I was actually expecting it would be like the bottom drivers there, but it is a full Q2 session here today, so that's good. But as we come into the Q2, there is a lot of talking points going into this particular session. Now, few drivers on the medium compound tires, as Michael's just rejoined, so that's great. There is a few. I was for a second I thought Polly was not even in the session, but he's P9. No worries about that. Anyway, there's a few talking points, as I did mention. Tire strategy, that's a big thing here, but I think the main thing that we should probably talk about is not the cars on track. It is the skies. The skies right now are looking a little cloudy out there. Could we see some rain?
Well, it is cloudy, you never know, but it could just be overcast skies. It looks like it's gonna rain, but it's not. I mean, who knows? We don't have a weather forecast to look at, so we can only really just trust our eyes in this situation. And to be honest, I'm not too confident, because I've seen plenty of times on this game where it looks kind of clear, but then it kind of starts drizzling, and then it turns into rain, and then other times where it's looked like this, overcast, looks like it wants to rain, but it just doesn't. So it'll be interesting. It's definitely a looming threat for these drivers here. They're going to want to get in their lap times extra early in case it does start raining. If it starts raining and you haven't set a good lap time yet, you're pretty much done. Oh, message coming in. It's definitely going to rain. I've just been told. So rain is on the horizon.
This is exciting. Very exciting. Good to know that is the case. So rain's coming, and this is something that we need to keep an eye on, is when it does come, because if the rain's gonna come in Q2, then that means that drivers are gonna have to go out right now, and that's actually what every single driver is doing right now. Everyone is on their out lap. They're all trying to get the fastest lap in there right now, and I think whoever's getting it right now, whoever's on their fast lap, and that would be actually, I think Jack Spruce right now is actually the driver. He's going to be maybe the fastest driver out there at this particular moment, because he's going to be on the quickest lap, because he's going to be on the best lap, because there's not going to be any rain at this particular moment. It just depends on when the rain comes, you know?
Yeah, we don't know when it's going to come exactly. We know it's going to come. We know it's going to come within the next 10 minutes. But apart from that, it could come 10 minutes from now, or it could come right now. We don't really know. All we know is that Jack Spruce here, as he gets all up and over the curb right there, very scary moment. Code Brown inside that cockpit, I'm sure. He's gonna have a huge advantage, because if it starts raining right now, this entire lap has just been kind of smooth sailing in the dry. And if it starts raining, people have kind of just started their laps, are going to be in big trouble, as Jack Spruce does go to the top, 132 flat. Not the best lap time, definitely not with what we were seeing last session, as It's Phoenix goes 6/10 quicker right out of the gates. Remember, top 10 go into the shootout in Q3. So, it is uber important you get your lap in early. Huge goes even faster, beats him by 8 milliseconds.
That's quick, very quick. As there goes Fergal now, even faster, 130.8 into the 30s now we go. But also Hugh on the medium compound tires, a 131.4. That's a very quick lap by the Williams driver, especially compared to all the rest of the times that are around him, which are the soft compound tire drivers.
Impressive indeed. So he'll definitely have the advantage when it comes to the race, because remember, what tire you set your fastest lap in Q2 on is the tire you'll start the race. So if you can set a good lap on the mediums and get through, because remember, the mediums are the tire you want to be on. The softs will just burn out like instantly around this track. They have no life whatsoever. If you can start on the mediums, that gives you such a big advantage over the rest of the field.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. The starting on the mediums is the preferred strategy for around here, and as you said, the softs just die instantly. They literally are just gone at that. Like, once you start the Grand Prix, you're already struggling at the first turn. It's that instant that the tires just go. They literally just go. I can't think of any other words to describe it. So the softs, they're not a bad tire. I think the mediums are just a better tire to start the Grand Prix on. So here's the thing. Which drivers are going to have to go again? Because everyone's pretty much set a lap here. I think as Lightning does retire. That is not... Yeah. Lightning's out.
Yeah, he's out of qualifying as it stands. Currently, we have 3 runners inside the top 10 who did their lap on the medium compound tire. Interesting, and only 3 of them opted to go for it and ended up in the top 10. But people retiring, people pitting, makes me think that the rain is just about to come, and that we might just be sitting here for the next 7 or 8 minutes, waiting whilst the rain kind of just sits and lingers. People are still out doing their laps, just in case they can squeak something out before the rain comes. It'll certainly be interesting to see, but once the rain does come and we know it's gonna come, basically there's no reason to do a lap, because you're gonna be so much slower on the intermediate tire, there's no point, basically. So
yeah, that's something you want to get the tire. You want to set a lap now before the rain comes, like you said.
I'm kind of concerned. It's Inferno and the Chaos Druid haven't done a lap yet. They're only just coming around. And I think Chaos Druid's just come out of the pits. He's only in to like the start of the 2nd sector. He's not done a lap yet. So I'm very worried about him and It's Inferno, because they're at big risk of losing out big time here if the rain does decide to come. There's 7
yeah, they
left
really
in
are.
The session.
And there's the rain. There's the rain. I just saw rain on It's Inferno. You can see rain now coming on track. It's actually coming pretty fast now. It's Inferno went a little wide at turn 1. This isn't going to be good for the Alpine driver. I think Chaos Druid is just coming around. He has to get these laps in very fast, and they're going to get into Q3. You can see the rain coming very fast now on track. This isn't good, as the 2 Alfa Romeos are still 1st and 2nd with El Vega P3. The rest of the pack, I think, is actually safe. The top 10 should be safe after this. It's Inferno has to get a lap, and he has to complete this lap. As he does spin the car at turn 13, he's going to go straight to the wall, and out of the session goes It's Inferno for Alpine F1 team. He is out of the session and out of the qualifying. That's super unfortunate. The rain just came out in at the wrong time, and It's Inferno is out of qualifying. He's down at P14.
Well, the rain came, and it did not disappoint. Some early excitement. Now, I have to wonder, is the rain going to keep up into Q3? If it does, that's going to make for some great action. Remember, Parc Ferme, in effect, you cannot change your setup once you went out for your first lap in Q1. So, if these guys haven't compromised the setup for the wet, it's going to be interesting to see how they get on with the wet conditions, if it does keep raining.
To be honest, it's just going to be like a nightmare for a lot of these drivers. Like you said, since Parc Ferme rules is on, drivers are going to have to not even change their setup. They're going to have dry setups on, unless they choose the wet setup. But I didn't think they would do that. I think drivers are going to struggle so much, especially, we have to also remember that with the rain, with the setups, that can be very difficult. But the other part that's difficult is that this track itself is quite difficult to race at. As we did mention very early on, Sector 1 and 2 is a very difficult part of the track, especially the Senna, I keep saying the Senna S's, the S's of the track. That's turn 7 and turn 8 and turn 9. Those are very difficult sections of the track. Turn 13 as well is a very difficult part of the track. And then, of course, the entire first 4 turns of the spiral section, I do call it as. Those couple of turns are going to be very difficult for drivers to maintain the traction going into these particular corners. It's going to be a very difficult race here today, or a very difficult qualifying Q3, especially if the rain does stay. We'll just have to see how it works out. It looks like the softs are still the faster tires at this particular moment because the rain doesn't seem to be coming down too hard. It's kind of stabilized, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, Chaos Druid has just come through and done a 36 flat, so the pace has definitely dropped away since the rain has come. So there are only 2 other people, or I guess 3 other people, Tyrant is out on a lap, that are actually out doing laps. The rest are just sitting in the pits, waiting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these drivers can do. I think all the drivers, except Jack Spruce and Pally and Tyrant and Chaos Druid, are all in the pit lane. So they're not improving their laps. And I think Starro's just retired as well. He knows that nothing that can be done, no one's going to improve. 3 minutes remaining of the qualifying session here today. Nothing drivers are going to do. DRS is still enabled, surprisingly, so that's very surprising. As, the conditions are absolutely terrible on track right now.
Yeah,
I think this is how it's going to stay.
You can see some puddles forming on the track as it looks. You can definitely see the water starting to pull onto the track. You can see it kind of reflect as water generally tends to do. Also, It's Pyro says in the chat, if Timothy doesn't come back for the stream ends, I want my points back. Sorry, it's Pyro. Ahmed isn't here. There will be no Timothy. I do not have the power to just summon Timothy. Okay? Sorry to disappoint, but that's the reality. Just thought I had to throw that there.
No problem. Yeah, I think we're going to have to just wait for the Q3 session now. I think that's... I'm right on board with Misty right now. Or not Misty, sorry. There's just so much rain on track as well. I don't think anyone's improving on the lap. It's going to stay like this, viewers. And DRS is disabled, so... Guys, the standings will not change unless someone's disqualified. So it's going to end like this for sure. And Q3 will get underway. Now, here's the question. We don't know if it's raining. We don't know if it's going to be raining in Q3. That's the question. And we're going to find out when the Q3 session gets underway.
I would doubt it would dry up that quickly after the session. Also, Mr. Pete, he says in chat, what Lamau to what I just said. Let me clear something up. Timothy is like a channel meme in the BAEsports community. If you don't get the reference, that's okay. Just know he's basically like a puppet that one of our other presenters will bring onto the stream occasionally, that some of our viewers seem to have gotten kind of attached to. So, yeah, just had to clear that up.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Definitely do that. I think this is a good time to talk about some other stuff, you know, because there's not much happening right now. We're right on board with the Mercedes driver. Misty's the only one on track at the moment. And we're just going to wait for the Q3 session to get underway when it does. But yeah, I guess this is a good time to mention to all the viewers watching the streams right now. I want to say a big thank you to everyone that's watching the streams. You guys are absolutely incredible. You guys do an amazing job. Just keep up viewing the races. Hope you're enjoying. That's the biggest part of all of this. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Hope you're having a fun time watching our commentary of the SBR race here today at Tier 2. It's going to be, there it goes, the Mercedes driver spinning off the track. I think he's just, not sure. Oh, there he goes. He retires from the session. So, those are the drivers out of qualifying as well. But yeah, just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone watching the stream. You guys are incredible as always. And, keep up the good work. Keep those comments coming in. We'd like to see them. We'll get a chance to, hopefully read them at some stages when we get the chance to. And if you're also interested, subscribe to the channel that you're watching on and to the other channel that's also streaming as well. We're streaming on the SBR channel and, of course, on the Formula Jonah channel as well. So go subscribe to those channels and like the videos as well. But that's it of Q2. The two Alfa Romeos line up on first and second place for the fastest times. Fergal ahead of Kai with a 1:30.8 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Most of these drivers only had one lap to complete their lap, so it's a little bit mixed up when it comes to all these drivers' positions. Q3 will be different, and to be honest, I'm really excited to see what happens in the next 25 seconds.
Yeah, if it keeps raining, and if it keeps raining harder and harder, qualifying is definitely going to be interesting, and who knows, this rain might just carry over into the race. Who knows? If it does, that's going to make some really interesting things. I'm definitely going to look forward to it. But we don't know. All we know is that we're going to load into the third and final qualifying session today. And that, drum roll please, we wait. It is indeed going to keep raining as we get underway for the final qualifying session. 12 minutes. Shootout. 10 people. Fastest one lines up on pole. Pretty simple. But when it's raining like this, nothing is simple. There's always a degree of strategy that comes with it in these changing conditions. Right tire, right time.
Yep, and the conditions do stay, as you did mention, so we will have rain. Here's the question, though. No rain is coming down at this particular time. It's kind of like the Turkish Grand Prix in 2020. There is no rain coming down, but the track is completely wet. It's still intermediate conditions out there for the intermediate tire, of course. So drivers will be going on the green stripe tires as the track is severely wet. And look at that, drivers are even trying to drivers are starting to spin out there. Pally and Thomas right here, riding on board with the Aston Martin driver coming through turn 6 now. There goes Thomas very wide into turn 6. I think we're going to see drivers aquaplaning quite a bit in the session, especially into heavy braking zones like turn 6, turn 11, I think that is, and of course, turn 14. So we'll have to see how that works out with these drivers, and it's going to be a fun session. It really is, especially with these conditions. Now it's raining in sector 2. This is quite interesting. So we do have rain in the second sector. Surprisingly, there's no rain in the first sector, which is very surprising. And now we start to get it in, I think, around turn 9 and 10. There we go. There we go. We're riding on board with Sorrow right now as the McLaren driver comes through turn 9. He instantly gets the rain. Through the second sector now, it's starting to rain. What about the third sector, though? No, there's no rain in the third sector, but there is rain in the second sector. That is surprising.
Indeed it is, but it's kind of like at Le Mans, you know? If it starts raining,
Yes.
it starts raining at one part of the track, and then it maybe expands out to others and eventually covers the entire track. It doesn't necessarily have to rain on the entire track all at once. You know, it can rain a bit here, a bit there, different corners, different sectors. You know, Mother Nature is like that.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Traction must be insanely difficult for these people to get down here in the wet. It's hard enough as is.
Yeah, this is quite a difficult session these drivers are having right now, especially with traction, as well as the aquaplaning, especially into those heavy braking zones. The drivers slipping all over the place on these massive puddles within the track. It can be very difficult. And like you said, it's also this track is like it's like Le Mans, where the Circuit de la Sarthe can have certain parts of the track raining. As Thomas almost loses the car through turn 10. This is changeable conditions happening right here. It's only through 9 and 10 that we're getting rain, which is very interesting, which is very surprising as well. Speaking of Le Mans, we should probably talk about that at some points during the stage, because the first race
Ooh,
of
DRS enabled.
Oh,
Stewards have
that
just
is interesting.
Yes. So clearly the track must be drying out if the stewards have enabled DRS. So maybe we'll see the track dry out, and I think people are going to rush for slicks pretty soon.
I agree.
Like I said before, right tire, right time.
Yes, that's a very big thing. Tama comes across the line, 145.2 for the Aston Martin driver. Pally now across the line for AlphaTauri. Where does he go? He goes a 146.9. Quite in some ways down as Hugh does pit. So I think it's the same thing as what you were saying, is there goes Jack Spruce, a 144.6. This is the exact statement what you just said, champ. Right tire, right time. That's exactly what it is right here. It was good for the intermediates at the start of qualifying, but the time changed, and now it's time for the slick tires. So drivers are probably going to go out now onto the slick tires. No more intermediate compound tires now. It is time for the slicks, as Pally made a little mistake, I think, into turn 4. What happened there? I think he may have spun because his wing's completely done, and his chances of qualifying on pole are really hurting right now, because he's going to have to make it back to the pit lane, and I think he's only going to get about one chance to go out and set a lap on the slick compound tires.
Not to mention, they're going to have to replace that wing or fix any damage. That's going to take time. There's only, 6 minutes left in the session. Time is really of the essence. Get back to the pits, put the slicks on, and kind of just wait for the perfect opportunity to go out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think waiting to the last moment is the best case scenario. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so too. Something interesting. Pally might not get to go, because if he's picked up some floor damage of any sort, surely the team's gonna have to spend time repairing that in the garage. And whilst they're doing that, he can't go out and set a lap. So I think this one's gonna be close. I'm not sure if he's gonna get out and be able to do another lap if he's got enough damage. You can see that car's kind of limping around half-heartedly.
Yeah, it really is.
Definitely not, functioning at peak performance, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's really struggling, that AlphaTauri, and it's possible that he could have got floor damage. You could be right there. I don't know if the session, if this is on that sort of damage. It could be on a different setting as well. It could be, though, that we can get floor damage. I'll have to look in that again, what the settings are. But Pally, he's going to struggle to get out onto another set of tires. I think he should be okay to set on another set of soft tires, or, probably softs, and go out for a lap.
I've just noticed something. Vegas decided to stay out and to continue going on the intermediates.
Interesting.
I
wonder why.
He's not gotten a lap in. Everybody's going out on the soft tire right now. Tommy says everybody else is in the pits, but they have the softs equipped on the car. I think they're just waiting for the time to go out.
Well, I'm riding on board with Thomas right now. He's the only driver out there on the soft compound tires. And let's see what the tire performance is like.
Saying Vake is on an out lap, so if he's just come out of the pits, I wonder what he's seen. Because the track's pretty much dried out. If it starts raining again, not much.
Oh, it is raining.
Is it?
It's raining in turn 9 and 10 right now. I wonder if that's the same glitch that's happening. Yeah, and then it just disappears in the final turn 11. That's quite surprising. So it's still raining over in 9 and 10. I think it's still soft conditions out there. I wonder if El Vega might be going out on to test the intermediate compound tires and see how dry the track really is. It's possible he could be doing that right now. He may know that the softs are better at this point, but he has some time to spare. Maybe he's thinking, let's see how, maybe he's trying to warm up the track. That could be, oh, he's actually going to start a lap. Okay, maybe not then. So
Well,
that's surprising.
He would have had time to come in, put the softs on, go for a lap, but not now. He's committed to a lap, and he almost got taken out going into turn 1 there.
Yep,
By the Haas
you saw that
driver.
too?
Yes. And he's going to be overtaken whilst he's on his hot lap there, so he basically was a sitting duck in that situation. I don't see how this works out for him.
What's going on between Hack and El Vega at the moment? Oh, wait, what? El Vega's just teleported into the pit lane. What has... Oh, Jack Spruce there. Spawn an exit. El Vega just had to avoid that. But what has just happened here?
Return to garage, maybe? He just went to the menu, pressed return to garage, or return him to garage?
Well, there's no way you can do that in the multiplayer session. Unless...
I don't know.
It's possible that there was a glitch there where he went into the pit lane and then we just got lag where he kept going on track. But that's really surprising too, because maybe it was his AI. I have absolutely no idea. It's possible. We've seen this in previous games where drivers get teleported into the pit lane. I've seen one glitch. I think it was on 2016, the game, as Polly's about to start a lap. So I'm going to ride on board with the AlphaTauri driver. I've seen one glitch in 2016 where drivers... they're driving on track and they just get teleported in the pit, get their tires changed, teleport back on track and retire the car because the car flips up in the air or something like that. It's super weird. It's possible that could have happened as well.
Thomas goes ahead with a 31.9, so it's possible the track still is a bit wet, because that lap time isn't quite what we would expect out of Q3 pace, and I think he's out of fuel or something, because he's going slowly, so he's abandoned his lap, so he's not going to do another one. Jack Spruce is on his out lap, going to start another one.
And Hack also spun at turn 4. I think that's maybe why Thomas was going slowly there. That's quite interesting. It looks like Polly's coming through the second sector. It was a pretty good second sector for the AlphaTauri driver. He's going to be the next, I think, to cross the line. No, Phoenix. No, Phoenix is on an out lap. Never mind. Jack Spruce is also spun at turn 16. Something's happened to him. So Polly will be the next driver to cross the line for AlphaTauri. Then it will be Kai in the Alfa Romeo. Don't discount Kai. He's a very quick driver. He was on an ultimate strategy charge at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I think he got a podium, if I'm not mistaken. Second place for Alfa Romeo, if I'm not mistaken. And then next to cross the line will be the McLaren driver Saro in McLaren, because everyone else ahead of him, I think, are on out laps or not.
Second and a half clear of P2, so good lap by Pally, provisional pole position for him. Said
very good lap.
Yeah, very good lap. Next across the line, Kai in the Alfa Romeo coming around the final corner. Right now, short run to the line. Lap time is going to be at 30.5. He misses out by a tenth of a second, just under.
And Hugh's down to P4. Hugh could not improve. He's only at 139.9. That is seriously far down. What on Saro, though? To the line he goes, pole! Saro's on pole for the Chinese Grand Prix by 1/10 of a second. The top three are separated by 1/10 each. Saro grabs pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix, beats Pally with a superb lap for the McLaren driver. Saro is on pole position for the Chinese Grand Prix, unless
Phoenix still haven't done their laps yet.
It's possible, yeah, it's possible that Jack Spruce and Phoenix could improve on their last, so watch out for these two. I'm not sure how their sector times are looking right now. Can they challenge Saro to pole? Phoenix to the line goes P4. A 10th down off Kai. What about Jack Spruce? No, he's only at 44.6 for the Ferrari driver. Saro's on pole for the Chinese Grand Prix.
If Spruce did a 44, he ended up behind Phoenix, who did a 30.6. Phoenix was only about 2.5 tenths off pole. I wonder if he kind of got held up a bit. by Spruce. That's maybe an inquiry waiting to happen. We'll just have to see. We couldn't get an angle of it if it did happen, but that'll be interesting to see. And we're just waiting for Vega, who's on his out lap, who's not going to set a lap this session, so he'll start from 10th, and all we can do is wait, because he's the one holding up the session right now. Everybody else is finished or retired. So we'll just have to wait as he crosses the line to complete his out lap and to do nothing, basically.
Yeah, I think the game might be glitched for the Alpine driver. Not sure what's going on there. Hopefully he can officially. I think. Oh, he's got 30 seconds, so we'll just have to wait an extra 30 seconds. That's okay, no problem. But I want to say a big congratulations to Sorrow, first pole position this season. A brilliant job by the McLaren driver to stick it on pole by 1/10 of a second to Pally. Then further behind is, of course, Pally in the AlphaTauri just by 1/10. And then right behind is Kai, just a 10th behind the AlphaTauri. And then a 10th behind Kai is Phoenix in the Red Bull, 30.6 for the Red Bull driver. It's insanely close. The top four separated by just 1/10 each. A 30.3, a 30.4, a 30.5, and a 30.6 for the top four drivers. The Sorrow on pole.
Come through. Jack Spruce has just sent a message in YouTube chat saying he did a 130.1, but he got invalidated because he had ran off the track on the last corner.
Oh, that is super unfortunate. So Jack Spruce probably would have been on pole position if he didn't invalidate at the last corner.
Because you can see, his lap time, 144, that was set on the intermediate time. So
yeah, so he would have been invalidated. That you're right.
Yeah, because he definitely wasn't on the intermediates at the end there. Definitely not. So must have gotten invalidated. Unfortunate, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. As we head towards the race.
Yeah, we're now into the Grand Prix, guys. If you're just joining us right now, thank you so much for joining us in our session here today. If you've been sticking around for the qualifying, thank you so much as well for watching so far. Hope you all are going to enjoy the Grand Prix. Hope you've enjoyed our commentary of the race so far. But as we're waiting for the drivers to get on the grid, we got 27 seconds until the formation lap begins. Champ, what's your thoughts on the Grand Prix going ahead? Just give us everything.
That qualifying session really mixed up the grid, so you've got people who are going to be fighting through the pack, trying to get to the front, and people who are just going to try to play their cards right, try to play the strategy, like the game plan is, and it'll be interesting to see who's on the right strategy, who can charge through the field. As we're about ready to go here, green light is on, and the drivers rolled away for the formation lap here.
Yes, the drivers are getting ready to start their session so far. They're going to get ready to begin the race. Predicted pit stop strategy powered by AWS, of course. Medium to hards, that's the one stop to two stop. Would be the other option, soft to medium possibly. That's an option as well. So Kai, Phoenix, Thomas, and the rest of the drivers on the soft compound tires, they're going to be doing that two-stop, where the rest on the medium compound will be doing the one-stop, as Sorrow and Pally are both on the medium, starting first and second. Let's quickly do the rundown of the grid. And those two drivers that I did mention, first and second place, Sorrow on pole position for the first time this season for McLaren. Alongside him is Pally on the first row of the grid. The AlphaTauri is right beside him on, of course, second position. Looking down at the second row of the grid and the rest of the field as well, we got Kai, who finished on the podium last time out at Bahrain with an ultimate strategy. Let's see if he can work these tires well. Maybe he'll do a soft to hard strategy, a one stop, and make those hards last for a very long time. He's lined up alongside Phoenix, who's just 1/10 down in the qualifying session. Thomas is P5 on the third row of the grid alongside Hugh. in P6 for Williams Racing. And then we got Jack Spruce, who possibly could have been on pole position if he didn't validate the last section of the track. So watch out for him getting a really good result here today in our race. He's looking mighty quick. Then we got Fergal alongside him on the second row of the grid for Alfa Romeo. Hack is P9 alongside El Vega in the Alpine car. Those two start 9th and 10th for their respective teams, with the two Mercedes lining up 11th and 12th on the medium compound tires, starting that medium train of tires for the rest of the grid. Tyrant is P13 alongside Chaos Druid in the Haas car. And the guy, It's Inferno, who crashed out in the earlier Q2 session. He starts P15 alongside Michaels there in 16th. Let's see what he can do. He's on the hards.
Like to point something out. Malik got disqualified. The McLaren driver down in 16th. He's been disqualified. I don't know if he's just been disqualified from the formation lap or from the actual race, because I know the game can sometimes do that.
It should be just the formation lap. I don't think it would disqualify him from the actual Grand Prix. That would be a major glitch that wouldn't be good.
No, not at all. But, okay, we can see him on the grid, so it looks like he'll be fine as they all line up.
Well, here we go. The 5 red lights are here for the Chinese Grand Prix here today at SBR, and the lights are out, and away we go. And it's a little bit of a jump start for El Vega. I think a lot of drivers are jump starting there, or something happened with the lobby, but it's a lights away. And look at Fergal there, already making moves up into P3. Polly and Sorrow going side by side down into turn 1, and it looks like the two Alfa Romeos, P2 and P3. Polly and Sorrow are right there, and this is getting quite interesting between the rest of the field. A lot of action. Thomas is down to P9. He's moved down a few positions here, but it looks like Polly leads us away from Sorrow. Polly got a better start. The McLaren of Michaels is off the track. That's also Lightning off the track, because that's an Aston Martin going down the inside. That's Thomas a little bit too wide there for Spruce, a little bit off the track. It's Phoenix and Kai go side by side down into turn 7. The two go side by side. Is Phoenix gonna lift? Is Kai gonna lift? No, not quite yet. They still go side by side through turn 9 and turn 10. Kai and Phoenix side by side still, and it looks like Kai just has to get ahead, but he makes a little mistake. Phoenix is back on him, and the two still go side by side. It looks like a 5-second penalty for Michaels there, as it looks like a virtual safety car has been called back, because one of the Mercedes is off the track and out of the Grand Prix.
Well, there was definitely a lobby glitch there, because El Vega just absolutely nailed it off the line right when the lights went out, and just nobody else moved. He was the only one, so either everybody was just sleepy, or something glitched. I rather get the feeling there was a glitch somewhere, and he's just been a major benefactor from that whole thing. Under the virtual safety car has a 3.5-second gap here. If I'm a soft tire runner, I'd just go in and pit right now and ditch the softs for the mediums, as a few people are doing. Kai here in the Alfa Romeo is doing it, and he seems to be the only taker. Here comes Chaos Druid, but he has damage.
Yeah, I think Kai is the one driver that chose to do so from the top 5 at least, so that's good for the Alfa Romeo driver. The rest of the field is also doing that. I think Michaels and Lightning as well, they had damage too, so this is quite interesting. But anyway, I think we're going to have to just see what happens here today. Polly, I think he's going to have to overtake El Vega. El Vega, as Kai gets a drive-through penalty. That is horrible for the Alfa Romeo driver, and that's just kind of affected his entire race. That he was coming out of the pit lane. I bet you he didn't see that happened, that there was a glitch there between the actual session there, but there was a sort of a glitch at the start. The lights went out at a completely different time for everyone. Fergal got a really good start and was able to try and make some moves, and now he's trying to make a move once again on Sorrow, the pole sitter, of course. Fergal now trying to get up there. He's P4 at the moment, but El Vega's P1, and we know that driver did make a kind of a jump start, but it was the lobby glitch. I don't think it was his fault, but he's up in P1. Polly's effectively leading the Grand Prix, and here's the battle for second place. And this is between Fergal and Sorrow for what it is right now is P3. Fergal is now trying to make a move on Sorrow, and Fergal now tries to go down the inside. The two go side by side down into the first turn. Who's going to get ahead? It's Fergal who gets ahead of Sorrow.
They did touch. They did touch just there, but just a wheel bang. I'm always a fan of. It's just hard racing, you know. You're gonna touch one another once in a while. A bit of wheel banging doesn't hurt anybody. So.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact there. I hope there was no damage. But yeah, that's just going to happen, you know, in racing. You are correct there. Phoenix's Chaos Druid is out of the session. That's unfortunate for the Haas driver. Is that going to bring out a safety car? Hopefully not, because we want to see some action still on track. I don't believe that will bring out a safety car. Phoenix is trying to make a move on Sorrow. Maybe backed off, though.
He is sat at the side of the road. I can see on the map. And there are yellow flags coming out onto the long back straight. But they've cleared his car and green flags are being waved, so no safety car or anything of the sort.
Very interesting. So, yeah, very
Vega's
surprising.
Been passed.
Yep, you're right. Vega has been passed by Pally, and now Fergal as well. Fergal's absolutely flying right now on the softs. He has been doing an absolutely amazing job.
DRS. He's going to come back. He's going to come around the outside into the braking zone, but Pally's going to stick it up the inside. Vega's going to try and go for a switchback, and Fergal comes out of nowhere in this whole situation. I didn't even see him. He sneaks up
Pally!
Second.
Pally makes a mistake. Fergal takes the lead. Fergal takes the lead now of the Grand Prix.
Well, big mistake there from Pally. Definitely didn't want to do that, sacrifice track position, but more importantly, he's going to have to suffer through that dirty air for the rest of this lap. That's not going to do his tires any favors whatsoever.
Yeah, especially in his battle for Sorrow, you know?
Yeah. Tire wear notoriously bad at this track. You want to try and avoid it at all costs. This certainly doesn't help, but you can kind of just see he's getting in the wake of his car in front, and he gets on the curb and he almost spins. He has to counter steer in the middle of the corner. I'll admit, sick drift, but it's not very safe thing to do, and I'm sure he wasn't all enjoying it. You probably not want to drift during the corner, because that will kind of burn up your tires really quick if you keep doing that. Vega's going to come under pressure from Sorrow. Sorrow has DRS. He's not deploying overtake often enough, so he's just going to sit back and he's just going to go through him to the braking zone.
Yeah, Vega's glitched. I think he's ghosted, so there's nothing that these drivers can do. They know they're fighting for third and fourth. As Phoenix pits already on the fourth lap, this is very surprising. So the Red Bull driver comes into the pit lane very early. El Vega pits as well. Hack moves up into sixth. Hugh fifth, as Hugh's actually trying to make a move on Thomas, actually, around the outside. This is a battle we have to think about as well, as Pally's all over the back of Fergal, so keep an eye on that, guys, in the mini-map as well, to your bottom right there. So Hugh all over the back of Thomas in the Williams car. Where do you think Hugh can get past, and do you think he wants to get past Thomas at this stage in the race?
I think just sitting behind him, kind of just size it up, look where he's weak, you know, see if he's slow out of the corner, try and size it up on the exit of that corner. It's all about racecraft, you know, sizing up your opponent. It's basically high-speed chess, this kind of can be simplified down to. Just outsmarting your opponent at the right time. That, I think, is the key to being a good racer.
Yeah, it's it really is. If you simplify it all the way down, it is kind of like chess, in a way. Yeah, Hugh really just siding up that opportunity to try and go down the inside, around the outside of Thomas. Thomas is going to protect the outside line, so Hugh's just going to go down the inside and say, thank you very much, I've got P4, and just now you have to deal with my dirty air, unfortunately, for Thomas. But Thomas will try and re-overtake him, and the battle will continue on between these guys. I think Jack Spruce and Tyrant there are battling out. Inferno might get involved as well. He's a little further behind these two, but they're still battling out. Tyrant, as Jack Spruce comes into the pit lane. That's interesting. So Hack also in the pit lane as well. A few drivers coming into the pit lane. Very surprising so far.
Well, it has been 5 laps. I would say it's kind of about time the softs have done their period, because remember, they had to qualify on those tires as well. Those were not fresh softs, so they already had a bit of wear on them. So it makes sense to pit right now, get a bit of an undercut, get on fresh tires, try to establish a rhythm, and try and make some places out behind these two. So, I agree with the strategy right there.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to get quite interesting, you know, between all these drivers. We'll just have to see what happens. Strategy's a huge part in this race because Fergal has him pit and Pauli's second, and he's right behind him on the medium. So this is going to get quite interesting. What's your thoughts on Fergal right now? Do you think he's going to pit quite soon, or do you think he's going to maybe try and go for the hards?
I wouldn't go for the hards. I mean, they seem a bit, you know, the hard isn't quite necessarily the best race tire, if you ask me, but, you know, certainly you could definitely try and do it. If you don't feel that the mediums can necessarily go all the way, which, I mean, 21 laps, 22 laps, that is a bit of a stretch for the medium, so going for the hards, while they might be slower than the mediums, I think it would be worth it because of the longevity that they'll bring, but there's only one way to find out, and that is to actually go through with it, as It's Inferno is all over the back of Triad over here in the Aston Martin, really being put on pressure here.
And he's got Andri right behind him as well in the Ferrari, so he's got to worry about that Ferrari coming in pretty fast to the back of the Alpine Whirlwind as Inferno makes a little mistake. You can see him saving the car, thankfully, but he's losing a lot of space. Does he have damage or something like that? Because he's going very wide in these certain parts of the track.
Could be. I mean, there is floor damage on this game. I don't know if it's actually enabled or not in this session, but if he has picked up a bit of floor damage somewhere, that could definitely contribute to a loss in pace somewhere along the lines.
Oh, and that's Inferno and Tyrant off the track. I think Tyrant's is the winner. Inferno's out at the same place he crashed out in qualifying. Bird's safety car's been called out. Fergal pits at the exact same time the safety car comes out. This is absolutely perfect for the Alfa Romeo driver. Inferno and Tyrant spun at the exact same corner. Inferno crashes out at the exact same corner he crashed out in qualifying. He's gonna not like that corner for a long time. Tyrant has got a lot of damage as well to the Aston Martin team. And this is not going to work out, but Fergal pits for the hard tires. This is absolutely perfect for him. He's going to come, and I think he's going to come out in P4 if the Ferrari just about say that. Yeah, okay, so Ferrari will come out right behind the Alpha. This has changed the entire race on lap 8.
It certainly has. This is going to really shake up the race for sure. This is gonna, you know, throw all the strategy out the window at this point. I know it's only lap 8, but who knows what's in store from here. Safety cars come out. If I'm a runner who started on the mediums, I'd pit here, because you can definitely go to the end on the hards.
Yeah, I think, well, right now this is a different situation right here because everyone that's pit, like Fergal's P4, everyone in the top 3, they're going to pit. I mean, like, Connor right now in P3, the Williams driver, he's going to have to pit. Sorrow in P2 right now, he's going to have to pit. Polly, he's going to have to pit as well. If I were these three drivers, I'd pit as well, like you said. But the thing is, they're going to drop so far behind their rivals, they're going to have to take the risk of everyone else pitting behind them, and that's something that could be unlikely. It's like a 50-50 chance that people will pit behind them. So this is going to get quite interesting when it comes to the restart of the safety car as well, when it comes to strategy and who's pitting onto what tire.
Certainly is going to be interesting. This is really shaking things up. I think Fergal is in the absolute perfect position right here. Surely the top two are going to pit. The top two pit, but Hughes continues on going, so clearly his strategy is going to revolve around just staying on the mediums. Matter of fact, the top two are the only takers. Surely,
Yeah, surprising.
I would have thought more people would have taken it.
Well, I think everyone's on different tires right now because they all pit for the mediums. There's not really a point to pit again. The only thing would be the top two, or, well, besides Fergal here, so Connor and Andrew there, both are on 8-level medium tires, and they haven't pit in this Grand Prix, so they're going to have to eventually pit for, I'm assuming, the hard compound tires. But it's why do you think they didn't pit? That's the question, I guess.
I don't know, because Fergal can go to the end from here on this hard set of tires. They can easily do 20 laps, I know that much for sure. So why they don't pit is kind of beyond me.
Yeah, very much is. Very surprising, to be honest, that a lot of drivers didn't, well, these two in particular drivers didn't pit. But they may know something that we don't know. Maybe there's like some rain coming or something like that. Maybe they're hoping for another safety car. You never know what can happen in this Grand Prix. Yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. By the way, we have lost 4 drivers from this Grand Prix. The 2 Mercedes, not Medi there in the Mercedes, the Chaos Druid, and the Haas, and then we got the other Mercedes of Lightning out as well, and then Inferno, who did cause this particular safety car after crashing in a very difficult part of the track. Right now, actually, we're riding on Fergal right now as the safety car is coming through that section where Inferno did crash out, but the safety car should be coming in this lap unless I think the McLaren of Michaels there is trying to catch up to the rest of the field. That's why the safety car is not letting us know if it's coming in.
I think the safety car is going to stay out one more.
Oh no, it's coming.
That is a very late call, race control. That is very late. They're pretty much coming through the hairpin now, coming into the final corner, and the safety car is just going to pull off. Normally, it should give itself a big gap to the field, but apparently this time, just not. So, very abruptly, we're going to come onto the front straight. We're going to kind of slow down and...
Oh, it's almost like
off.
a Magello start.
Almost a Magello start, and it was a Magello start. Somebody's front wing has gone flying in the background, I can see.
Sorrow, that's Sorrow in the McLaren. His front wing's gone.
Yeah,
Polly's trying to go around the outs. Oh, Pally and Sorrow, and there's Spruce and Michaels off the track. Michaels out. Oh, and Polly's been hit. Polly's been hit. The race leader, who is leading this Grand Prix, has been hit. He's getting back on track. He's okay, but Sorrow's got major wing damage. The top 2 are really far down the field here. A lot of drivers. There's a lot of, I think, a lot of drivers going side by side through turn 6. That's Hack and Thomas going side by side. Phoenix up there as well. Is Thomas going to get ahead of Hack? Yes, he does. What about Phoenix and Andre here? The 2 going side by side. Possibly Phoenix is trying to get ahead of the Ferrari driver. No, he cannot get quite ahead. As Sorrow is yellow flag through sector 2, I do believe that's turn 8. Sorrow going very slowly. This might be the pole leader's race over.
Unfortunate for him, it's just another case of, safety car, restart stuff, just like what happened at Magello, People, speed up, slow down when restarting. Somebody eventually gets caught out, and there's a big crash because of it. It's unfortunate, but these things do happen. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think Torrent has kind of spun because there he is slow, rejoining onto the track.
Yeah, that was Tyrant in the Aston Martin car. That's what happened there. Andre is pitting. Very interesting. So he's pitting on the next lap.
Right after the safety car. I don't see the reasoning behind that. If you were gonna pit, I would have pit under the safety car. He's going to pit and he's going to put on the hard compound tire after serving his penalty.
Oh! Sorry to interrupt there, but Kai's out. Kai, Hack, and Thomas just made a little incident there. Another safety car has been called out. That's exactly what Andrew wanted there to help out his chances. Kai's out of the session, and what happened was Hack and Thomas made a little contact. Thomas went a little too wide, pushed Hack a little off the track there, and that allowed Kai to kind of lose the car because of that. I think he got a little scared of what was going on there, and he is out of the Grand Prix. So the driver that was on a masterclass of strategy last race at Bahrain, and who got a podium at that race as well, is out of the session, and we're not going to be getting any podiums today. Also, Andrew just got
drive through.
Yep, you're right.
Speeding under the safety car. He went and he passed the safety car because the light was green, meaning you can pass it. But remember, there's still a delta until everybody catches up to the safety car. It's effectively just a virtual safety car. You have to follow the minimum delta, and if you don't, you'll get a penalty like that. So maybe a lapse in concentration from Andrew, but not great for him.
Yeah, not the best. It's been a difficult day for Andrew there in the Ferrari car. I think he got another penalty, another drive-through.
Coming in.
Oh, that's interesting. And what's interesting is Connor didn't pit. That's very surprising.
Yeah, well, clearly what I think he's trying to do is that I think he thinks that there's going to be a lot of crashes and that there might just be another safety car at some point.
A third safety car?
And if he holds out, he might just be able to pit onto the softs and then go from there. But again, the softs don't have good lifespan. You know that.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like...
I'm not so sure about this whole strategy call here.
Me either.
Pilot's gotten 3 seconds for corner cutting. Multiple warnings.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. I'm gonna quickly look at penalties. Yeah, he's got a 3-second time penalty. Andrew's got a drive-through, of course, and then Thomas has also got a 3-second time penalty as well. He sits third for Aston Martin. That's not good for Pally. We know he's a driver that can challenge for the race victories at some stages in the Grand Prix. But in my opinion, I really think this battle might be between Fergal, Connor, and Phoenix for the win here today.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. The hard tire runners are going to have the advantage here. A lot of the medium tire runners have a couple laps on them already, which certainly isn't going to help. All these people on the hards have pretty fresh hards, so they're going to be able to go to the end fairly comfortably from here. And I feel that the medium runners are just going to fall off towards the end. The mediums won't be able to make it.
I think it's also, I think you're right, because, I mean, like, well, first of all, El Vega's not even in the session right now for the Alpine. Oh, there was a little crash there or something like
Jack
that.
Spruce, 5-second penalty. He's not going to come into the pits. He collided with It's Phoenix. And now he's coming into the pits to presumably fix damage. Because he just pitted for hards, and he's going to have to serve a 5-second penalty here for that collision. So he's going to come in, and they're going to hold. They're not going to touch the car for 5 seconds. And now they're going to come and service him. They're going to replace the nose. So, front wing change in order. So he clearly did have some damage. He's going to go onto the medium tire. Now that
interesting.
I think that could work.
You think? I mean, like...
I think that could work. I think the mediums can go the 14 laps that he's going to need them to go.
Yeah, because usually, I think hards, you could probably go from, like, lap 10, I want to say, with the hards to the end. Yeah. That's the... I mean, like, that's the minimum you can go for the hard tires to the end. The medium... I don't know. I mean, like, it's possible they can go to the end, actually.
We'll see. We'll see. I see Trident's also bidding for fresh mediums as well. I don't expect him to be doing much, though. He seems to be kind of settling in at the back of the pack. I don't expect him to charge forward. Harley, too, is on fresh mediums as well. 1 lap old mediums. Safety car in this lap. So the safety car is going to leave. The lights are off. It's going to take off. It's going to get itself a gap. From Hughes here, the leader. Who's going to back up the field. Warm up those tires of his. And try to get a jump on the guys. So he's got 12 lap old mediums. I get the feeling he's not going to go anywhere, and they're just going to kind of catch up to him. But we'll see.
I agree with you. Yeah, I don't think those tires are going to last long. I think he's going to have to pit eventually. I mean, he has to pit. In accordance with the rules, you have to pit at least once in the Grand Prix for a different set of compound. He can't pit for a medium. He has to pit for the hards or the soft compound tires.
So he's gone. He's just gone very early. He's gotten the jump on them. He's got about a second to the car behind him. So good job by him. But we'll just see here. He's got old tires. Old mediums.
He does.
So I get the feeling they're just gonna fall that gap back. They're still within DRS range, but DRS doesn't come in until 3 laps after the safety car restart. But they can still deploy their overtake and do a slipstream. So they're not out of it yet.
And Pally just got past Tyron in the AlphaTauri. So that's good for him as well.
He's going to start charging his way there. I've just noticed Jack Spruce is 24 seconds behind the lead.
Yeah, he's really far behind. That's not good for the Ferrari driver. He's had a difficult day too.
I think he's put on a set of old mediums.
He has. I wonder if he spun after he got fresh mediums and then he had to pit again. That could be the case.
That's very strange.
Yeah. Unfortunate to see that for the Ferrari driver, but we move on. And of course, hopefully he'll be able to get it back up there. Up at the front, Connor versus Fergal here. Fergal really close to that Williams. He's getting closer and closer. So is that Williams going to have to pit quite soon? And maybe the Alfa Romeo will just slip up there.
I would have to imagine he's going to have to pit eventually. He's coming on to 14 laps on this set of mediums. So this does prove that the mediums can go 14 laps.
And Andri's pitting as well, just for the other Ferrari. That's interesting.
So he's pit again, and he's going to come on to the... Oh, no. Other Ferrari. I got mixed up.
He has to... He's going to drive through. I forgot about his drive-through penalty.
Oh, right. I think Pally's in a good position because he's got fresh mediums. He's going to be faster than everybody else here. If he can claw his way back to the field, I think he could be on for a good result here.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, the AlphaTauri driver right now, P6 at the moment. He's on the fresh medium tire, as you did mention, and he's purple in the...
Message just come through. Hughes Connor's strategy was to go from medium to soft.
Interesting. Okay, so that's where we are at this point, viewers. Connor in the Williams car, he's going to be going onto the soft compound tires, so watch out for him. Probably pitting around lap 18, maybe 19, probably lap 19 for the soft compound tires, because they don't last very long. New tires should last around 9 laps, so we'll see how that goes. Hack all over the back of Thomas. He's right on the back of the Aston Martin. Phoenix is right there too, and Pally. It's a 4-way battle for 3rd place. This is going great action right now. Fergal's lost a little bit of time to Connor, which is very surprising for the Alfa Romeo driver. Right now, the tires that he has on right now are actually not the best tires. It's not the best stage for the hards at that particular moment on that tire life. And then we, of course, have Pally on Phoenix. Phoenix on Hack. And Phoenix is actually trying to make a move on the Haas.
Another message has just come through. Jack is now ghosting as an AI because apparently he has had to leave due to a family emergency.
Oh no, hope everything's okay for Jack. Hopefully all is good, and we hope to see him in the next one. Good. Thank you for letting me know. Good to know. As we did have Pally making a move on Phoenix. And Pally's up into P5 as well, so keep an eye on Pally. He's making some moves right now. He's very close. He's very close to the curbs compared to the other drivers. I think his tires are a lot better. As there goes Tyrant. What happened to Tyrant? Off at turn 8. I think he might have spun.
Probably. Anyways, we got a four-way fight for third here. That final podium position. Thomas defending for his life here. Basically, if he wants to keep this position.
And here goes Pally around the outside of Hack, the AlphaTauri driver. Oh, and there's contact. Little run off the road there.
Yeah, he got shoved out. No doubt about that. But I think the Haas driver came off for it. Oh, Pally runs way wide. He's going to give up the position. So
what happened there?
I think he just wanted to give the place back. I don't know. Or maybe he was told to give the place back by the game. The game can
It's possible.
The game can be stupid and kind of just give you weird penalties for no reason. Especially when it comes to illegal overtakes and whatnot. So, wouldn't be surprised. But that
yeah, it's possible that was there.
That kind of disrupted the battle. Phoenix still behind Thomas, closing in on him. He's got 5 lap fresher hards, so he should have the pace advantage here.
Well, you know, to be honest, I think Phoenix might be in the opportunity to try and take Fergal. I think Phoenix versus Fergal for the race victory. That's what's going to be. Unless Connor can, like, do an absolutely masterclass strategy, pit for the softs, and just gain a ton of time on the rest of the drivers. It's possible Connor could do that, but to be honest, I'm predicting him as P3. I'm going to put Phoenix in P2 and Fergal winning the Grand Prix. That's my prediction for those drivers. As Pally's making a move on Hack, the second time lucky, hopefully this will work out better for the two drivers as the Pally gets down the inside and makes the move very cleanly and easy this time. I think there may have been a little bit of contact with the two drivers before, but it's all good now, and Pally's up in P5.
Yes, a message has just come through. Apparently Pally did let him through by choice. And it wasn't that the game told him to or anything, so weird there, because I'm not sure what exactly he did wrong. He just kind of got shoved out. So weird. But we'll move on. He's now going to try and chase down the two in front of him, and potentially try and sneak into the podium positions here with 11 laps to go in the Grand Prix.
Well, the battle for third right now is effectively the battle for second place, because Connor will pit and it will be second position. Phoenix is really going for the win right here, I think. I think Pally's also changing his strategy around to maybe challenge for second place rather than the Grand Prix win, because he's losing a little time on the medium tire, and everyone else is going to start having a little bit more pace on the hards. As Pally's actually flying right now. Oh, makes a little mistake into turn 11 there, but he does have a purple sector in sector 2, so Pally still has a lot of pace on the medium compound tires, so don't discount Pally for the race win. But Phoenix all over the back of Thomas. I think this is where it's going to happen. Phoenix makes the moves, possibly on Thomas.
DRS.
He does. He's going to go probably down to the inside. Is Thomas going to try and fight back? No, I don't think so. Phoenix is going to go down the inside, and the Red Bull sweeps up into first. Is Thomas going to try and go for the switchback maneuver on the Red Bull? No, there's just not enough pace in the Aston Martin car. The Red Bull, it's Phoenix, moves up into third place and into the podium positions.
Good move by Phoenix. Oh, but here comes Thomas back up the inside into turn 1. Cheeky there, but ooh, Phoenix sticks his nose in. I'm not so sure how much he would have liked that. He's now going to try and do a switcheroo. Looking to the outside, and he's now going to just concede. And try again. So, hard racing there between these two. Meanwhile, Pally is getting closer and closer the more they keep doing this. Gap's only 7/10 between Pally and Phoenix and the rest of this group. He's gonna be within DRS range as it's now 6/10 under that, so he's closer right up onto them. So they've been battling away, and he's just been closing in on them. And he's got, fresher tires, medium tires that are probably faster.
Oh, this is a perfect switchback for Thomas. Makes the moves and cleanly up into third place. That was beautiful for the Aston Martin. As he moves back up into their respective positions. Connor finally does pit. He does pit onto a set of soft compound tires. Now this is where it continues on. Phoenix moves up into second. Is Pally going to try and make a move on Thomas? No, not quite yet. So Phoenix moves up into second place now. Thomas is third. And then Pally trying. Oh, a little contact between the two drivers. As there's more contact between the two drivers. And I think Thomas and Pally made a little contact there between the two. Wasn't enough room.
Pally stuck his nose in, and Thomas wasn't having any of it. He kind of just closed the door on him. I say that's just hard racing, but the stewards might disagree. Anyways, that's kind of disrupted this battle. It's allowed Phoenix to kind of pull out a bit of a gap there. They're outside DRS range as it stands. And he's got fresher tires than the leader than Fergal. So I think he can just get his head down and try to go chase him now. As long as Pally and Thomas keep fighting behind, I don't think they're going to be a threat to try and catch him.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's just about these drivers keeping consistent. I mean, Pally's going to try and overtake Thomas now. This is going to get interesting between these two. I think Pally will have the opportunity to probably go down the inside into turn 1. He's not going to have the chance to into turn 14, but he's much closer this time around, and then he'll have a better opportunity into 14. As he gets very close to Thomas. Better exit for the AlphaTauri driver, and he's now going to try and make a move into turn 1. I think, a little mistake into turn 1, but he's hasn't lost too much time to the Aston Martin driver. Still has a chance of making the move. As Thomas going to defend, not enough room, but he's then... here comes Pally. Switchback maneuver. And there's just not enough space there for the two to go side by side. Oh, Thomas doesn't leave too much space there. Pally right there as well. You got to leave a little more space for the AlphaTauri driver there.
Yeah,
and Pally...
He kind of did just abruptly close the door there. He did bang wheels. Might be something to look into, but in this, Phoenix is just running away from all of them, and he is catching Fergal.
Yes, Phoenix is in a good job.
The gap's come down about half a second last lap, so he's definitely catching, and he's got the fresher tires.
Yeah, he definitely does. You're right. I think he's getting pretty close to the Alfa Romeo. 1.1 seconds. Do you think he's going to have a chance to maybe slip into first place here?
If he keeps up this pace, certainly. He's almost in DRS range. Once you get into DRS range, you can just close up onto the back of people. So I certainly think he can do it. Pally's going to go for the lunge. He locks up, but he gets the move done. They touch a little bit on exit. But Thomas gets the better drive out of the corner, so he'll keep the place.
Very interesting. And Pally is on 10-level mediums, Thomas on hards. So this is quite interesting as Pally's looking for a move. Thomas defends quite a bit. He wants this third place here. Pally going to try and down the inside. Oh, and he's got it, I think. But Thomas is going to fight it back. The two go side by side into 4. Oh, not enough move. Pally squeezing Thomas to the left side there. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it clean. The two are going to go side by side into turn 6. Ooh, this is very close. And Pally just nudges his AlphaTauri just about ahead. Is Thomas going to fight back? No, he does not. He's going to have to wait a little bit later. So Pally moves up into third place. Thomas down to 4th.
They are really fighting. Meanwhile, Phoenix, only 8 tenths behind. He's in DRS range. So he'll definitely close up onto the back of Virgil this time around.
Yeah, he very much will be.
Yeah. They're going to come onto the DRS straight. He was within 1 second when they passed the detection point, so he will get DRS down this straight. You'll see the wing opens, and that gap's going to come down.
He's getting closer and closer to Fergal, but can't make the move quite yet. 7/10 now between the two, the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo now. Pally very close as well, so don't discount the AlphaTauri driver. And what about Connor as well? 8.5 seconds on the soft compound tires. This is getting really interesting between the top 5 drivers for the podium positions here.
Yeah, he's definitely on it, but I think he's messed up the strategy here. He stayed out too long on those mediums. I think if he pitted the first time they had a safety car, went on to the hards, he would have been in a good spot. Or even the second time, he would have been better off. I think it's just too little too late at this point for Connor.
I agree. I think he should have done what we said, pit during the safety car. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah. Anyways, here we have Phoenix. Half a second behind Virgil. It's getting really close here.
Yeah, super close between the first 2 drivers. Phoenix getting really close to the Alfa Romeo. Now, we do have to remember, Phoenix does have a 5-second penalty, so that could affect his race, but to be honest, I don't know if that was his fault, to be honest, because Jack Spruce, it looks like maybe he ran into the back of the Red Bull?
I saw something on the YouTube comments. I didn't bring it up because I didn't think it would be relevant, but I did hear that penalty from Phoenix is gonna get removed, chances are.
Interesting.
It was unfairly given under safety cars. Probably like a collision penalty or something. We all know how consistent the game can be with those. So, effectively, they're fighting for the win.
You're right, yeah, because even if Phoenix does move down into second towards the end of the Grand Prix, you're saying he will get that penalty removed?
Yes.
Okay, so viewers, keep that in mind. This is 4 positions. Even though Phoenix does have that penalty, we do know that he will get that removed. So, yeah, that's good news for Phoenix. All he has to do is make that overtake and keep it. That's all he has to do.
5 laps to go still. Actually, Fergal's hards are going to be getting pretty worn out come the end of the race. If I've done my maths right, they'll be 20 laps old once he crosses the line at the end. So, the tire advantage here might just come in really handy. He's 4/10 behind. He'll get DRS. He'll get a good run. He's gotten a good run out of this corner. Let's go on board with him. He's gonna deploy his overtake. He's gonna open up the DRS. He's gonna gain. Virgil draining his battery. Phoenix round the outside. Is he gonna make it stick? Not quite. He gets shoved a little bit outside, but he just hangs in there. They're gonna go side by side, and he wisely backs out of that one. He did not have the overlap there. Would have ended quite badly if he kept his nose in there.
Yeah, it would be better if he didn't do that, you know, like, because the thing is that if you made the overtake in that section, it probably would have ended in tears for both drivers. So, like I said, wise decision for Phoenix. A very, very sportsmanlike move there. And now he's got a chance again to go make a move on Fergal. Oh, he gets very close to the Alpha. Was there contact?
It looked like it, but I couldn't tell for sure. The camera angle was kind of bad, but if he's able to keep up with him, I think he's fine. Because front wing damage on this game is very hard to recover from. You just understeer so much. So I think he's fine.
I agree. I don't think... Yeah, I think he doesn't have any damage unless there is a part that I'm not seeing on his particular car. But we'll have to see.
So, come down the straight this time. Fergal leaves, goes defensive. Phoenix is opting not to open his DRS this time around, so clearly he's just gonna sit and kind of just wait, size up his opportunity. Meanwhile, Rally's just wandered into the battle here. He's only 1.5 seconds back from Phoenix. He could totally get up in this fight. 3 laps to go. Anything could happen between these three.
I really think Polly's hope is that he's able to, well, Phoenix and Fergal will make contact and Polly slip into first place. But here's the thing. Polly's got a 3-second time penalty, so that's all he can hope for at this particular moment, because he can overtake them, but I think he'll lose out when it comes to penalties. So that's going to be pretty unfortunate. And to be honest, I also see Phoenix's point here, because he doesn't want to overtake quite yet, because he still has 3 laps remaining in the Grand Prix. And so if he overtakes Fergal, Fergal's just going to re-overtake him. But at the same time, I also see he should probably make the overtake quite fast, because he's on fresher tires, and he's got Pally right behind now. This is going to cause a little bit of trouble for Phoenix, as he's going to have to think about both ends of his car now instead of just the front. So he's going to probably try and make the move on Fergal quite soon. As there goes Connor on Thomas. Connor now slipping into the action as well. So Connor's coming back to the field. We can see Connor up into the top 3 and trying to fight for the top 3 in the Grand Prix. And as it stands, I think Connor is going for 3rd place, because he's getting very close to Pally right here. And when it comes to penalties, he has to gain another 2 seconds, and he's got 3rd place.
Well, he certainly is charging like a madman, but again, I think it is a bit too little too late. I think 3rd might just be the best he'll be able to salvage. He was leading for a good chunk of this race, and it certainly looks like he probably had the pace to continue with how fast he's going right now.
Oh, Fergal! Oh. Fergal and Phoenix! Fergal and Phoenix just made contact! Oh my goodness, that was contact between the 2 drivers. Fergal and Phoenix were going side by side, and they made contact. Fergal got a P3. Pally moves up into 2nd place now. Pally is now up into trying to chase down 1st place. Absolute drama on 2 laps to go. The Phoenix, he's just, I think there was a little bit of contact there. Maybe Fergal, didn't give enough room to Phoenix. That's why Fergal spun there. Maybe it was the other way around. That could be a penalty for Phoenix. This puts Pally now up into the chance for 1st position in the Grand Prix. This is getting insanely tight between the 3 drivers here today, and even Connor as well. The top 4 are getting very close to fighting for the race win here today.
Well, there's got to be an inquiry about that. We couldn't quite see what exactly happened, but people are not going to be happy after that. This has just helped out Connor. He's only 1.5 seconds behind Fergal now. He's been charging like a madman the past few laps. Certainly he's going to be able to catch up to him and maybe pass him for 3rd.
I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure Fergal will be... I'm not sure if Connor's going to get ahead. He's gaining quite a bit at times. He's going to have 2 DRS zones to make the move. Probably just 1, because he can't make a move into this section of the track. Meanwhile, Pally got past Phoenix. So Pally, if the penalty does not get removed for Phoenix, Pally will win the Grand Prix. But Phoenix's penalty will probably get removed, so Phoenix will win the Grand Prix here today.
Well, it's not
if it
quite
stays like
that
this.
simple. I bet you there's going to be an inquiry about that little incident.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Phoenix might get slapped for penalty for that. Who knows?
You're right. It's possible that the Red Bull driver could get a penalty for that, and that could put Pally up into the race victory. And you know, that's exactly what Pally was hoping for, is probably to let Fergal and Phoenix make contact somehow, and they've exactly done that, and he's just like, thank you very much, you guys done your thing, now let me do mine, and now I'm in the race lead.
Well, talk about lucky turn of events. He's turned this race around, turned it on its head, because he started from the safety car restart in about 8th. Now he's leading. I told you that he was one to watch out for, and it turns out I was right, because now he's found himself in the lead of the race, and he probably has a chance of winning, depending on what happens with the inquiry about that incident.
Well, we'll definitely see, but Polly comes across the line. Oh, that's Connor is out of the Grand Prix. No way has that just happened. Connor spun at the final corner of the Grand Prix and is out of the session. Hack will take P5. This is unbelievable for the Williams driver. Connor out of the race. Look at that. The Williams car is off the track just a few centimeters from the line. Oh my goodness, has that completely changed it? Connor will be furious with himself. I'm sure he's going to try and throw his controller, if he's using a controller or wheel. He's going to try and throw that out the window or something like that, because I bet he's a little bit mad about that. But he is out of the Grand Prix on just a few meters to the line there. That is pretty insane. But Pally wins the Grand Prix. Phoenix will come home for P3 unless the penalty will get removed, so he will take P1 unless he gets a penalty for the contact with Fergal. We don't know at this stage who's actually won the physical Grand Prix right here, but I think it's gotta be Pally. I think he's gotta win the Grand Prix here unless Phoenix does get that penalty removed and he gets another penalty.
Well, this one is going to be an absolute nightmare for the stewards to figure out. So, but unofficially, Pally is the winner, Fergal is second, and Phoenix is third. As they come out onto the podium, I get the feeling this will probably turn into a Carlos Sainz situation, where somebody's gonna get removed from the podium and somebody else is gonna get put there but not actually allowed to celebrate because they're not here. They didn't finish there on track or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. We don't really have the official results, so all we can do is guess and see what happens. But we do have the results right here, the provisional results. Polly on top with Fergal in second and Phoenix rounding off the podium in third. Penalties could come into effect a little bit later on. Super unfortunate for Connor as well. He still will take P8 and the fastest lap as well, so an extra point to him. But yeah, wow, that race was incredible. An amazing Grand Prix. Pally takes the win, and I think we now have the question. I think it now goes on to the stewards to see what they say. So we'll find out what happens in the Grand Prix, and maybe we'll post in the descriptions of the videos who exactly won the race or whatever. We don't know what's going to happen. We'll find out later on. But I think the question now is, who was your driver of the day, champ? I want to know, who was your driver of the day?
I've got to go for Power. That charge to the field from the safety car restart. I mean, that takes determination. That takes grit. He stayed with it all the way, and as it stands, unofficially, he is the winner. What that actually means, we are yet to know.
Well, yes, you're absolutely correct. Pally did an amazing job today, and the driver of the day is a definite consideration for him. He did an amazing job here today, especially from second on the grid to coming back through the field. Even if he doesn't win the Grand Prix, he did an amazing job today. So I think for me and you both, we got to say Pally. And for viewers, I want to say, if you guys like, just a fun thing that we like to do, vote in the comments below what your driver of the day is. We'd like to know. Just a fun thing to do. Anyway, I think that's going to be it, though, for here today at the Chinese Grand Prix. This was SBR's Tier 2 race of Season 3 at the Chinese Grand Prix. Here today at the Shanghai International Circuit. It's been an amazing race, a fantastic result for all our drivers on track, a beautiful Grand Prix. It really was just amazing racing, and looking forward to commentating on this again in the future. I want to say, Champ, thank you so much for commentating with me. You were amazing, and can't wait to be commentating with you in the future on this league and maybe other leagues as well. So thank you very much.
Well, okay, it's been a pleasure, and hey, I get to come back tomorrow. Seb's not going to be back, I don't think, for tomorrow, so I get to come back and hopefully witness another great race like we had today. So, it's been a pleasure, it's been an honor. I really enjoyed my time here. I guess I'll see you all next time. tomorrow. And for what an amazing race this was, it's me signing out. I don't know if you want to say anything.
Sure, of course, yeah. What you just mentioned there, you'll be back for the next race, which is tomorrow. I guess we should let everyone know that the Tier 1 race will be happening tomorrow, so join us then. That'll be an exciting race as well. Go check that out, viewers. Tomorrow, you'll see Champ in the box as well. I won't be there because I'm Tier 2 commentator. I'm not available on Tuesdays, but yeah, go check that out. And yeah, we'll all see you in the next time. But yeah, this is the Chinese Grand Prix for Tier 2 Season 3 Championship race at the Shanghai International Circuit. It's been an amazing race here today, and we can't wait to see you at the next one, which will be the Italian Grand Prix at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza, of course, in Italy, in Milano. So we'll join you then in Italy for round 3 of the championship event. So that's it from us. I'm Formula Jonah, and that's Champ. We're signing off here today. We'll see you